So good day, it's another beautiful day and it's another time to exhibit the beauty of agriculture. You see, when we're talking about agriculture, there are people that actually playing the role. There are people that are making agric beautiful. There are people that have this experience, and that was why we decided that okay, we're going to listen to their story. What we tagged AgroNucleus, true story of farmers. So today we are with an amazing person, someone who has actually played a beautiful role when it comes to livestock development, when it comes to different value chain in agriculture. So he's going to introduce himself today to everyone so you can know what we're talking about. So good day, sir.
Thank you, Lukman, my wonderful immediate past president of Animal Science Student Association of Nigeria. You're welcome.
My pleasure, sir. We're actually so happy to be with you, and we'll love to let you know that you are the first person we have in this interview.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Because basically, we know there are a lot of people there that have still not decided just because they don't know what really is happening in the agri space. So, we'd love to meet you. Can you tell us more about yourself?
Thank you. My name's Taiwo Adeoye. I'm a proud animal scientist, and I've been in the space. I've been in the industry for the past 35 years, precisely 1989, when I joined the premier commercial feed miller in Nigeria, the first feed miller in Nigeria, Pfizer Livestock. I actually joined the sister company, Pfizer Animal Health, in 1989 as copper during my NYSC service year. I was retained and then became sales representative, posted to Odoyo and Kwara. That really exposed me so much into the field of livestock production, selling both animal health product and feeds. We say I retired at that young age after more than 12 years, and then I started my own little business. But I went back to the bank 2002. I didn't stay long there because I still have love for farming. So I left after about 3 years. Came back to the first love, which is agriculture. I studied agriculture in at Ahmadu Bello University with second class upper and animal science option, 1989. Then did my master at University of Ibadan. And I've been practicing, but I came fully into farming in 2005. I left the bank December 2004. It was 2004 I got this office. Before I finally left, I've set up the place. So I only resigned to resume here.
That was 20 years.
2004, exactly 20 years ago. Yes, I got this place October.
Wow.
And then I came in, I resumed here in January 2005. So we are into importation of agricultural input, agricultural production input, precisely livestock production input. We are also into farming. We're into management consultancy. We have consulted for banks. We have consulted for government, Lagos State government. We have supplied product to even Lagos State government. We also consult for individuals and organizations on the farm management consultancy. We are into farming now, producing eggs and point of lay. So we have some product like premium injectors. We have water stabilizer. We were heavy in importation of vaccines, which we stop, and we streamline our product phase, farming phase production per se. And that is what we've been doing for the past 20 years.
That's so beautiful. In summary, the company has actually been existing, which I'm not even sure if my dad has actually gotten married to my mom by then. It's a beautiful one, and I can say that they are one of those that actually like make agric so beautiful, most especially in the animal science aspect. Because I got to know you when you were the Animal Science Association of Nigeria, ASAN president, when my predecessor used to talk about you a lot. And that was one of the reasons why I decided, okay, we're going to start with you. And
Thank
for
you.
giving us the opportunity. While you were doing your introduction, sir, you did mention about Rostal Resources
Yeah.
as a company. What does Rostal Resources do? And you mentioned that, okay, you're into egg production. On an average, how many crates of egg does Rostal Resources produce on a daily basis?
As you know, things are not as good in the country presently, not really favor farming and livestock feed. Being livestock is hardly affected. But still, God has been our the factor for our existence till now. As you are aware, many farms have closed down. As at now, we are producing close to almost 1,700 crates a day.
Wow.
Before now, because the bulls are old and some of them are going again this December, we are producing close to 1,900 a day, crates a day. Then we have facilities for about 37,000 point of lay in cage.
7,000.
Yeah, and we also have 11,000 rearing facility on liters, deep liters.
Wow, that's actually an amazing one.
So, like I said before, we are into import as well. We are into management consultancy.
Yes, you mentioned.
It's painful that a lot of farms are not aware that they need experience, and especially when they are just starting, to help them. So I feel I have that passion. So it's not just money that you charge them. I wouldn't like people coming into agriculture and they feel that it's not a lucrative business. But one thing first, a lot of people are not being trained. I forgot to mention to you that we are involved in training in agriculture, especially livestock production, poultry production. We have where you are staying in the boardroom there, we train some executive people and we took them to the farm for practical sections to ensure that they go into the poultry business and make the best of it, make it profitable for them. So we do training apart from the consultancy. Like I said, it makes me so sad that when I see farms closing down or not getting result, that was what informed us going into that aspect of our business. So many times we don't charge as we should, but most times we don't even charge. But now I'm not saying that we will start charging because it seems that people are not really appreciative of free
training
consultancies. So they are not really appreciative, and then maybe they take things for granted. But we are renewed that, and we want to help several farmers that are just coming in or having challenges in resuscitating their farms.
From what you said, Daddy, I think there has been like some sort of narratives outside there that, okay, agriculture is not for the weak. They just paint it in such a way that you might not even like show interest in practicing agriculture, which I feel one of the reasons why it's like that is they not being experienced.
Yeah,
what you said.
Yeah, you see, a lot of people don't even know that there are a lot of things that are involved. Many people don't know that there are a lot of things involved in agricultural production. you need that training. They think that is like what my father, great fathers have did, and you can just come in, and that's why many of them fail. They don't. You don't do any. It's only in agriculture that I see that people want to come in and they don't want to be trained. You don't do that with other businesses. You need to plan and then get some knowledge about what you're about to do, and you should pay a token for that, so that you get better. I'm not saying that there are consultants that are agricultural consultants that are book consultant. They read what you have. And I have seen people writing feasibility studies, but they are not. They never involved. Never to get involved. So where is the experience from? So that is book. Just book consultancy.
Well, they also thought of feasibility study in school.
So I think, and then you of course you can do the theoretical part of it, but as it is, you need to get to the feed and know what it takes. You need to have the nitty-gritties of the business. Most of the time, can you just say you want to? You can start an hospital by employing expert. So that's another thing. You can go in, but you need to get people that can run the business for you, that knows about it. But you yourself need some level of understanding of the business. And that is one thing about agriculture. The other thing about agriculture all over the world, you see, we are still joking with this aspect of our sector of our economy. Where I come from, my dialect, we said, you see what is happening in the country today? It's because food are not people cannot afford it. How many people can afford to take egg today? In the marketplace, from the farm is between 4,600 and 4,800 and per crate. Whereas at the marketplace, minimum you can get is 5,500 to 6,000 per crate. And the purchasing power of people cannot afford that for them.
That's actually so sad. Moving on that, before we go to, because I can even personally tell about your achievements, like I know a few of them. Before we talk about that, what has been the challenge for, like, since you've actually started agriculture? Because I know it can't just go so smooth. What are the major challenges you faced during? What are the challenges encountered during your stay in agriculture?
There are so many challenges, but like I said, you cannot do without the God factor. For me, or for us generally, the God factor has helped us, but that does not mean that you will not do the needful. Challenges of glut. The last one, we have a terrible one, was last year. Ordinarily, we have a pattern for glut in Nigeria, but things have changed. When there are political unrest and there is no movement of vehicle and all that, we normally have egg glut. When borders are closed, we normally have egg glut. When the northerners eat more egg than the southerners.
Wow.
Yeah, they eat
but there's
more
more of the production here.
Yeah, in the south, because of the weather here, the climate here. When there is during the heat period, the northerners will not, the middlemen will not want to stock so much of eggs because of spoilage. So, and they don't want to spoil. That means the inventory, they control their inventory about that time so that they will not have so much, and they don't want spoiled eggs. So it affects us as well. Then when they are going to hatch, they mop up their money for business in eggs, and they sponsor people to hatch. In those days, that has been the experience. So during that time, you discover that we have.
So you already know the pattern.
But it has changed. We already had the pattern, and people plan for that. Based on what I've said, when new yam comes in those days, you are happy because people want to go for eggs with the yams.
I think this is where the experience comes in.
Yeah.
You know when to increase your production. You know when to
Yeah, but then there are a few times you cannot, especially for egg production. It takes 6 months to complete a cycle for lay, from day old to about 6 months before you start making money. So it's not a thing. Of course, you need planning more than ever before. Farmer needs to plan now to ensure that, for instance, you want to plan. This may seems to be a bit technical. You want to plan so that your birds start laying during rainy season, or just before the offset of rainy season, because the first experience during heat period will affect the experience for the set of birds, the batch of birds. If they are experiencing heat stress at the first time, and the first time of laying. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. For instance, now, you don't want to have your birds laying about late January, February, when the climatic condition is not too conducive for the first time. It will affect them more.
Of course, that's very true.
Yeah, it will affect them more. So you plan that. And again, just like you said, you know that your planning should be in such a way that you want to sell your old layers about December or festive period. You time that as well. So more than ever before, farmers need to plan, just like any other production, and knowing your market. So that is that. So it has been a big challenge. Then last year, like I was saying, during the Naira redesign and the cashless situation about the election time, I would say that was the worst for me, for our company, because at that time we have more than 20,000 crates of eggs unsold, and it affected so many farmers. One of the other challenges which we are still facing is the input. The cost of the input, because farmers are not going. Arable farmers, crop farmers, they are not able to do their farming because of the insecurity in the country. And then you look at, if somebody has mentioned to us that soya will hit 1.5 million per ton, you say, God forbid.
Never imagine that.
You can never. And maize went as far as more than 1,000 to 1,002 at a time.
And maize taking like the larger.
Yeah, maize is just like more than 50% of the input of the feed. So there's been a big challenge, and that is why many farms have closed down and so many have reduced their stock capacity. So because they are not able to cope. Unfortunately, farmers are not able to transfer this high cost to consumers. Like I said, now if the price of egg is to be considered looking at the cost of input, cost of production, and then you will be going for nothing less than above 6,000.
And the narrative to, let's say, the audience would have been like, the farmers are the one trying to like increase it, not even knowing the farmers are the one on the receiving end.
That is why many farms are closing down. Now that we don't have cloth, it's not that the demand is more, it's because the supply is cannot meet the demand per se. So I can tell you that as at now, less than 50% of farms have either closed down or reduced capacity drastically.
To solve this particular issue, what recommendation do you think you can actually give and will be very feasible?
Yeah, number one, the security of the country. We must solve that problem. Even the poultry farmers that are not directly, there was a time that these kidnappers were going to farms. They were going to farms. So we need to solve that problem. We need to solve the problems of our style of production of crops in this country. For instance, I used to tell people that what we plant is grains, not seed. Because it's the same grains that my great-grandfather planted that we are recycling. There is a way in which we can get improved seed that will improve our yields per acre or per hectares. We need that as well. And then there's a lot of innovations and technology must come in. The extension services need to be brought back full-fledged. Because when I was younger, I mentioned that at Abeokuta the other day.
Yes.
To teach farmers on new innovations, they even give incentives.
Because which would attract them.
This I will also say that government need to give incentives or subsidize a lot of things about agriculture. In other climate, that is what is being done. Farmers are encouraged. When farmers are not able to sell their product, government take off, they buy off at the price they're supposed to sell. So they will not be selling below their selling price to make profit. So they are encouraged. What has happened to Nigerian farmers is that when nobody cares. So since nobody cares, you better look for another means of, and then a lot of them abandon the farm.
I really hope they improve on this. Though I saw the president's tweet, I think it wasn't yesterday or today, that he said that food security is actually a must. And I think these are the little things they need to put in place to really achieve the food security.
Yeah.
So that being on the side, what have been the things you're really enjoying as a farmer, as an agriculturist, as an agripreneur, your achievement, your milestone? This is really mentioning a few.
Thank you. I must tell you that I have passion for agriculture. Of course, I'm not into agriculture to do agric. I'm there to make money, like a friend will say. Yeah. When you see your birds or your plant growing, and you watch, for instance, you put the old chicks down, and in another 14 weeks they have become big, and then you can sell and make money. You're happy. Then that you are part of, supporting the nation's economy by providing food for the populace makes you happy. They are contributing your part into the general economy through production. Of course, many a times you could be discouraged the way things are. Government is not there to. For instance, I used to tell people that government is not supposed to be in business per se. Yes, they don't have. You just create a conducive environment for farmers to strive, for farmers to operate. No water, no good road, no electricity. A farmer typically want to provide all of that, and with all that, government is still asking for tax when you are not really being supportive. But then we do our best. I don't know any farmer that can pay tax now in the last 2 years, because it's just to sustain yourself. So it's been my joy providing food for the populace in my own little way and little production. And of course, you train people among your staff. You have people that are living by it, working on the farm, getting their daily bread as well. So you are an employer of labor. It's also a good thing. Seeing people happy around you, working with you, is another good thing that I so much love about this. Then, of course, you are one of those ones. When your younger ones are coming to learn, and then you pray that they become bigger than you, when you see them being successful and they are growing, some of them have that, they are so promising that you know that their future is colorful and bright. It gives you joy. And because that is really my core area now, encouraging the younger generation to, especially in livestock production, those animal scientists and the other younger ones who wants to come into practice, we try to encourage them, because no matter what we say, people must eat. So if some of them feel like coming into that space, you encourage them and support them. So
I think that particular part is going to bring me to the next question, because as a fresh graduate and as a leader who has actually like interacted with a lot of students across the country, I say that rate of students' interest in agriculture is not really encouraging, despite the fact that they are studying an agri course. What advice can you give to someone that is really contemplating whether he or she should practice agriculture or not?
Thank you. The truth of it is that a lot of our youth are not having interest. I've given several lectures in that regard all over. I've been invited to speak to the youth. It's still about the general economy. When someone sees a Yahoo boys or see people that are not really putting their best, people who have not really gone to school or whatever, and they are making millions, and you feel like you're an odd man person, discouraged and all that. But then, those things are not lasting. Quick, getting rich quickly cannot sustain people. So I would like that our youth understand that. I've told you I've been in the industry and I've been growing like that. So people that want to cheat, where are they? Because there's always consequences. And it's not sustaining. They cannot sustain themselves for long after that, after some time. So we need to encourage youth. Of course, it's not just now. There have been mass movement of youth from the rural area to the city, to the town. And a long time, if you remember, Sonny Ade sang the song, Kusagbe Moloko, Ara Oko Ti Dari Wale. So that has also affected the youth. And then the way we practice agriculture here, there is no incentives that can make some youth to say, okay, we want to stay on this. And there is but when you see people working the bank, they are getting new car, they are dressing well, and you feel that we are starting. You don't even have the initial money to start with. I was just talking with somebody just before I came in. If you have 1,000 balls laying now, the value of the chicken itself, not even the housing, not the cage, not the land, is about 10 million.
For 1,000 birds.
For 1,000 balls. And how many people can afford that? The reasons of it. So it's been a big challenge for our youth. And they find themselves where the agriculture is not being encouraged. No bank, even if you want to go to bank today, how much is the rate? That's another thing. Whereas in a developed climate, farmers are being celebrated. If you mention that you are a farmer here now, people look down on you. But in a developed country, they celebrate farmers. So it's still part of things that our government and people in authority need to look at by encouraging our youth, because that's the way out. Let's not deceive ourselves. That's the way out. If you want to get
something that's any Luandi Akoko.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Whether I like it or not, I'm also getting older. Like my father in the Lord, Pastor Adeoye, will say, you don't ask people, how young are you? How old are you?
How old are you?
Yeah, so now, what will happen after our generation when we don't encourage the younger ones? I have always loved that, believe that I will have a farm. And I must tell you this, as a sales rep, going around the farms in the old Oyo and old Kwara state, which is now part of Kogi, part of Niger, and all that, I have been exposed to farming. I remember the first set of broiler that I raised. I discovered that my salary was not too close, and I was working with a multinational company, Pfizer, with brand new car, with drivers. I look at this, in 2 weeks, what I made after paying my tithe and all that was so much. So There is still money in it, but now the whole thing is thinning out. The margin is thinning out. If government will encourage for, and it's because of the input, the cost of production.
Which takes, I think, 60 to 80%.
It's more than that. Feed alone now, we used to say feed alone is about 60 to 70, 65 to 70.
Yeah.
Now it's more than that. Far more than that. Once you're able to settle your margin over feed, you look at it as big, you smile to the bank. But things are changing, and fast changing for that matter. So, but there is still hope because people must eat. So anyone that is in business of food, you are in good business. Somebody told me long time ago that any business that gives you daily income, it's a good business. That's why you see people in telecommunication, because even as we are talking now, you are using data, you are using foreign, and you are paying. You are talking, people are making money. Some people are making money as we are talking on phone. Some people are making money. The owner of the business are making money. The same thing with banks. Banks, have you heard that time and money? You must pay. So as time is running, your money you are running. So if you take loan facilities, and if at all you don't take facility, you keep your money in the bank. Bank is using your money now.
As their own capital.
As their own, yeah. So, but when you come, the other one we also deposit, so they're able to give you your money. So that's another one. Then oil and gas, people must use, as you are moving with your car, you are burning money. You are burning money. So every business that has this cash link with it, it's a good business, and that is what you see in agriculture. Agriculture is one of it.
All right, thank you so much for that. Rounding up, I think this will be the last question. What do you see to be the future of agriculture in Nigeria, and what recommendation can you give to increase production and to run a sustainable agriculture?
The future of agriculture in Nigeria is, I wouldn't want to say, the future should be very good. And like I said, if only our government, because they are the policy maker, you know that government policy can kill. In as much that they don't have business in business, but their policy can kill. And the kind of policy that we have in Nigeria many a times is somersault, the policy somersault. You say something now, another one will come and change it. And somebody would have invested. So people are being careful. And that's why a lot of people are looking for businesses that will not get them committed per se, not tie them down. Unlike farming business. Because before you start raking anything, you have to spend. It's just like planting, and your harvest time is there. You can't abort it. You must take its period.
And that fast track too.
You can't. So the future of agriculture is so bright in Nigeria, if only we do the needful.
If only we do the needful.
Yes, if only we do the needful. And the needful is that we must deal with that corruption. We must encourage farmers. How do we encourage farmers? Let them have access to 1-digit loan. I'm telling you confidently, that the so-called agri loan from the banks, Federal Bank and other, they are not available to real farmers in their real sense of it, Those who try to get it, they have to bribe their way out.
Just to get loan.
Yes, some of them. They won't tell people. It's a side talk. Especially when the former governor was there, Central Bank. They have beautiful programs. But what happened? Execution. For instance, I never believe in all this, what do you call it now? Giving incentives to, what kind of, that they give to, give rice or whatever, what do you call it now?
Palliative.
Palliative. I never believe in the way they do palliative here. There was a time they were giving fertilizer to farmers as palliative. Some of the fertilizers find their way to the market.
No, without legs.
And they wrote on it, not for sale. Who is deceiving who? So I would rather prefer that we do things the way it's been done abroad, where you support farmers, and then even the maize. At the time they said they were giving maize to farmers. You know the irony of it? You see some farmer that will get 1 bag of 100 kg, 2 bag of 100 kg, and the farmer uses, for instance, like me now, I didn't get any, I didn't go for any because I never believed in it. If you use like 10 tons of feed a day, which means you need maize of 5 tons a day. 5 tons a day. Now somebody is coming and say, you should come and take 2 bags
of 100 kg.
Of 100 kg. Is it to use it for akamu or and that is the problem. That is the problem. We are not being sincere, and farmers need to be encouraged. Some of us have traveled out and we have seen how farmers are being encouraged. They are into their own business, but the incentives are there, the conducive environments are there. Nobody comes to disturb them anyhow. You get your farm into a location, come after 10, 20 years, people now come around, that's how they will start an estate there. And then it used to be original land, agric area. They drive you out. And if they don't drive you out, they give you so much problem. They say you are disturbing them with odors of farms. But you came to meet the farmer there. So that has been part of the...
Really hope for the best in this country.
God will intervene. And it's the one still intervening. If not for God, it could have been worse.
We keep praying to God.
Amen.
So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this brings us to the end of the first edition of our AgroNucleus True Story of Farmers with Pastor Taiwo Adeoye, the past president of ASAN, Nigerian Animal Science Association of Nigeria. So I am Lukman Abdel Fattah, and I happen to be the team lead for AgroNucleus. And my regards to those at the back of the camera as well. So the mission is to exhibit the beauty of agriculture, and we are going to put in all our energy to achieving this. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.